Hello and welcome. It's the new year, and I'm awfully excited about the new year. I've made my New Year's resolutions, and I've been looking back at last year's resolutions to see how well I kept them. And to be honest, I did a pretty decent job. My first resolution last year was not to yell at sophomores anymore. Sophomores! So I resolved at the new year not to shake my fist and yell sophomores quite so often. And I did really cut it down to a minimum. I think I may have done it only 3 or 4 times in 2013. My second resolution last year was to read more books than in 2012. And I did. I certainly overcame my number by a few. And that's a big thing because right now in my life I'm so busy. I love to read, but I also have so much to do. So I had to really work for it to get as many books read this year as the year before. And 2013 was a great year for reading for me, partially because towards the end of the year, I discovered LibriVox. These are free audiobooks read by really brilliant narrators who have volunteered to do this. So it's all free, it's all public domain. So that was exciting for me. I could read the book in my house when I had time. I could step out and go to the grocery store and listen to the book in continuation. The third resolution I had for 2013 was to do more stuff with technology in my classroom. Well, this year I started a YouTube channel, and so I did accomplish that task as well. So 2013 was a good year for resolutions. Now this year I've gone back and made some new resolutions. Resolution number 1, I would like to read more books in 2014 than I did in 2013. And since I discovered LibriVox fairly late in 2013, I have a good feeling that 2014 will be an excellent year for me to read a lot of good stuff. Next, I'd also like to spend more time doing YouTube videos and get more videos into my channel. Videos that are not only just for specific lessons that go with my classroom, but also videos that will be of general interest to my students. My next resolution is to draw all of the Poets Laureate. I have about 4 of the Poets Laureate drawn around my walls, and I would like to have all of them so I can make a one wall dedicated just to Poets Laureate. My next resolution is to publish my second novel, the sequel to Night Market. It's called The Laboratory, and I'm working very hard on it. Hopefully I'll get it all wrapped up and finished and published very soon. Other resolution related to that is to finish and publish my third novel, the final novel in the trilogy, which will finish the story, and hopefully that will be very exciting. So those are my resolutions. I'd love to hear more about what your resolutions are, and I hope that you are excited about the new year. I know I'm excited about the new year. I love teaching, and I'm excited for teaching this year. I'm excited for the spring semester as well as next year's fall semester. Speaking of which, here are some of the best books I read in 2013. The number 1 best book I read in 2013 was Gilead. It made me so sad, but in a good sort of way, like that heart ripped out of your chest and crushed and then planted with flowers in a pot and given to your grandmother kind of way. It was the kind of thing that made me sit up at night beside my children's bedsides and watch them sleep because they were beautiful and I wanted to capture every moment of their lives. Kind of that kind of book. The second best book I read in 2013 is Boxers and Saints by Jean Yang. So good. Again, another heartrending but brilliant story. It delves into the Boxer Rebellion in China and tells a story from both sides in a really heart-moving way. And I cannot say enough about how fantastic these books are. Another book that I read that surprised me is the book The Man Who Knew Too Much, and I know there's a film about it. I don't know if it's about this book specifically. The Man Who Knew Too Much is about a man who knows too much about the politicians, and he solves several murder mysteries, but all of the evidence is tied into politics, so it's very sticky, and he's unable to really sort of necessarily pin down the criminal because of the political situation. But the end is really pretty moving and exciting, and it's written by G.K. Chesterton, who is really a fantastic and fun person to read, both good with storytelling and mystery, very clever in the way he words things, and just very pleasant to read. And the last book I'll mention as just excellent books that I read this year, The Ocean at the End of the Lane by Neil Gaiman. It is a Neil Gaiman book. Whenever I pick up one of his books, it's like the tentacles pop out of the book and wrap around my face and suck me down, and I can't set the book down until I finish reading it. It's kind of just how it works. So Ocean at the End of the Lane was like that. I bought it on accident. I read a page of it on some website, and then I had to buy it, and then once I bought it, I said, I can't look at this right now because I've got too many other things to do, and I said, well, I'll just look at the cover, and then I just had to look at the first page, and then suddenly I realized I'd stayed up all night and read the whole thing. The worst book I read this year was King Solomon's Mines, with the hero Quatermain. It did cause me to think about political correctness and the way our society shifted from the past. It was an adventure story which I would imagine would have gone over very well 100 years ago. It was about cowardly white men killing innocent animals and watching Africans die without really caring about it very much. It made you feel uncomfortable on every possible level.
Oh yes, I think I'll shoot an elephant and take its ivory to show how brave I am. Oh, the elephant trampled my little black servant. Oh well, at least he's not white.
That was kind of like every conversation in the book. It was really horrible. Don't recommend that one. So anyway, Happy New Year, enjoy the New Year, hope you have a great New Year, etc, etc, etc. I don't really know how to end this. Maybe I should just start singing.
When the foeman bears his steel to run, we uncomfortable feel to run, and we find the wisest thing to run, is to slap our chests and sing to run.